Good Thursday morning, everybody. I'm Dave Furtado.
And I'm meteorologist Jefferson Donovan.
And welcome to Keep Her Quick, your latest local news and weather commercial free in about 15 minutes or less. We're going to jump right over to weather because, Jefferson, today may be the last day of getting some of that sunshine in before we start seeing some possible rain headed our way.
That's right. Well, even today we are seeing some rain showers this morning through the western portions of Yakima and Kittitas counties. We have seen a fair amount of rain already this morning. All of us are going to be looking at rain coming to an end by this afternoon, but even after today, there will be persistent rain chances through the next 7 days. Slight chances of showers really every day through at least next Tuesday. Now, the biggest headline, I believe, is that middle one. There's going to be a significant cool down this weekend. All of us are going to see highs only into the 50s and 60s by the time we get to Sunday. And then also, additionally, just keep in mind or be aware that blustery wind is going to arrive on Saturday. I know a lot of folks are putting out Halloween decorations, so that is something that you might want to consider. We'll talk more about these three weather headlines coming up.
Thanks, Jefferson. We begin this morning in Yakima County. Sheriff's deputies are investigating a shooting that happened Tuesday night in rural Tieton. The sheriff's office has confirmed that Richard Kneckenberg was shot in the driveway of his home in the 100 block of Trepanier Lane. Kneckenberg was transported to Yakima Valley Memorial before being airlifted to Harborview in Seattle for treatment. A 31-year-old has been arrested and booked into the county jail on charges of first-degree assault, domestic violence. And a College Place man allegedly struck a motorcyclist in his car, drove away, and attempted to destroy the evidence. That's according to Yakima police. The incident happened early September, and police traced the 76-year-old suspect's car back to College Place where he lived. He then traded in the vehicle to a local dealership and allegedly asked for it to be crushed. The suspect has been released from prison, but under certain supervision guidelines. The 21-year-old motorcyclist suffered multiple fractures, including a broken ankle, leg, hip, ribs, and shoulder. And in Grant County, a man is dead after crashing his car. According to the Washington State Patrol, 26-year-old Carlos Rodriguez from South Dakota was traveling north on State Route 281, about 2 miles north of George, while 30-year-old Eunice Chegg from Puyallup was heading south. That's when Rodriguez crossed the center line and hit Chegg, both vehicles coming to a rest in a ditch. Although Chegg was not injured, Rodriguez died at the scene. Deputies are still investigating to see if drugs or alcohol played a role in the crash. A 45-year-old Florida man has been arrested in Kennewick after deputies say he tried to steal rent payments from a mobile home park office. Deputies say the man was caught in the act by the park's manager, and instead of giving up, deputies say the man grabbed a 6-inch rock and attacked the manager. Eventually, bystanders stepped in and held the suspect down until deputies could arrive. The manager was taken to the hospital with serious injuries, but is expected to survive. The suspect has yet to appear in court. On to some wildfire news. Containment for the wildcat fire near the William O. Douglas National Forest has dropped to 5% as of Tuesday. The fire has grown to over 15,000 acres, and level 2 evacuation levels remain in place for Goose Prairie and Bumping River Road. Officials say that the increase in acreage is due to fire operations to strengthen the containment lines. State Route 410 remains open, but several closures are still in place at the Okanagan, Wenatchee, and Mount Rainier National Parks. Officials advise taking caution when using any ignition sources and respecting current fire restrictions. And Benton County fire crews are working to contain a brush fire burning north of Benton City along Rattlesnake Mountain. What's known as the Ale Fire has burned about 118 acres in a rural area. First reported yesterday afternoon, helicopters and at least one firefighting plane were brought in to try to stop the flames from spreading. And the latest report says fire crews were successful in stopping the forward progress of that fire and keeping it to that 118-acre footprint. Now, the area is extremely rural, say officials, and there appears to be no structures for several miles in any direction of that fire. On to some health news this morning. The latest toxic algae report is in, and only one area along the Columbia had levels of toxins above recreational thresholds. According to the results from the Benton Franklin Health District, Leslie Grove Swim Beach had levels at 2.1 micrograms per liter. For reference, the state acceptable levels are 1 microgram per liter. Now, warning signs have been posted at Leslie Groves and will be there for at least 2 weeks. For the Snake River, Walla Walla County Health got back positive results for their tests done just upstream from Ice Harbor Dam. Those results were really high, nearly 90 micrograms per liter. There's also warning signs there. For Scootney Reservoir in Franklin County, periodic testing will resume after their test last month showed levels at half of the accepted threshold, which is 8 micrograms per liter. The test was at 4.5. Now, the health district notes that river currents can change and move those floating algae debris along shorelines, so they encourage caution. And with that, let's jump right over to meteorologist Jefferson Donovan. Jefferson, I've been seeing some people still trickling over to the river to get their last little bit of boating fun. But as we head on into the weekend, we could see a drastic change in those temperatures, keeping people out of the water.
Yeah, I would say as we go to the weekend, hitting the water or going to the water is not going to be desirable. We are going to see a significant cool down. We're also going to see numerous shower chances as we do approach the weekend. And in fact, even this morning at the time of this recording, we are looking at rain showers across parts of the viewing area. Western Yakima and western Kittitas counties have certainly seen precipitation this morning, and some of these showers have leaked into Yakima and Ellensburg. Now you can see that elsewhere a few spotty showers have gotten going across parts of the inland northwest. As we go into the afternoon, everyone will be dry today, and in fact we are going to be looking at partly cloudy to mostly sunny skies as we get towards the mid to late afternoon hours today, but there are more precipitation chances coming in the forecast. We'll talk about that with the Storm Tracker Futurecast in a moment. First, though, here's a look at daytime high temperatures on this Thursday. We will likely see highs into the mid-70s for the Tri-Cities today, low to mid-70s coming for the Yakima Valley, low to mid-70s in the Kittitas Valley today, with low to mid-70s as well for the Blue Mountain foothills. Again, everybody looking at partly cloudy to mostly sunny skies by the time we do get to this afternoon. Now let's talk about that cool down Dave and I were just referencing. As we go into Friday, we are going to have one more day where widespread 70s are going to be possible, although in the Kittitas Valley, temperatures are going to be cooler into the mid-60s. But then look what happens as we go into Saturday. High temperatures for Saturday will only warm into the upper 50s to mid-60s, and then Sunday will be even cooler with daytime highs in the mid-50s to low 60s. So after one more fairly comfortable temperature day on Friday, we are certainly falling off the cliff in terms of these daytime highs as we do go into Saturday and Sunday. Now let's discuss precipitation. First, I'll stop at this afternoon to demonstrate that we are all going to be dry by this Thursday afternoon. Now, as we go into Friday, there is going to be some shower activity around in the morning before a primarily dry Friday afternoon. By Friday evening, most of us will be staying dry, although a slight chance of showers, a slight chance of some spotty showers here and there will still exist on Friday evening. Going into Saturday, I believe the Futurecast is underdoing precipitation by a little bit. Some spotty showers are going to be possible around the region on Saturday afternoon. Still looking at a good chance of showers on Saturday for the Blue Mountains and adjacent foothills. And then as we go into Sunday, we are going to see a very similar setup, isolated to spotty showers around much of the forecast area with a good chance of rainfall for the Blue Mountains and adjacent foothills. And then as we do progress into Monday at this point is going to give us, or at least it looks like it is going to give us, our best chance of maybe some more persistent region-wide precipitation. One more note I do want to make about the weekend as we go into Saturday specifically, winds are going to turn pretty blustery. We could see gusts as high as 30 miles per hour in the Tri-Cities on Saturday, gusts up to 35 miles per hour on Saturday for Walla Walla, with gusts up to 40 miles per hour on Saturday for Ellensburg and Pendleton. Sunday will stay breezy, but not quite as windy as Saturday. So a lot of changes coming as we do go into the weekend, from a calm weather pattern to a more active weather pattern, and we will continue to track this through the next several days. Right now, I'm going to toss it back over to Dave.
Thanks, Jefferson. The Yakima Air Terminal has appointed a new person in charge of the airport after Robert Hodgman resigned last week and left the position with immediate effect. Longtime airport employee Brian Calarenius has been appointed as the acting airport operations and maintenance director. The posting for the position of air terminal director is up, and they are accepting applications. Construction and improvements approved during Hodgman's tenure are still moving forward. And at their meeting Tuesday night, the Yakima City Council passed a resolution to extend the trolley operating agreement to the end of the year. It was requested at the last meeting when the agreement was set to expire on the last day of September. The council also approved a Natchez River Bridge repair project, which will help the trolley's bridge over the river into Sela. However, there are still more decisions to be made soon, as the 6th Avenue revitalization project is awaiting council approval.
My personal opinion on the issue was that if we decide to go up 6th Avenue and do the repairs, it's going to be a multi-million-dollar commitment, and I'm not in favor of that, and I don't think the city has the funds to do that. So that would be the big issue that we'd have to wrestle with moving forward. But if we operate as is with the current track configuration, I think they can keep going indefinitely.
Now, the trolley operating agreement passed 6-1, with Councilman Berg being the lone dissenting vote. The search is underway for Benton County's next sheriff, as applications are now being accepted following the retirement of former Sheriff Tom Croskery. Croskery's resignation on October 2nd means Benton County commissioners will have until the end of November to choose his replacement. If they miss that deadline, Governor Bob Ferguson will then make the appointment. Now, since Croskery ran as a Republican, the Benton County Republican Party is tasked with leading that search.
On November 18th, we'll have a meeting of the Central Committee, the Precinct Committee officers. We'll hear from all the applicants, and then in a closed session, we'll decide who are the top 3 applicants to recommend to the County Commissioners.
Now, Mike Clark, a 22-year veteran of the Benton County Sheriff's Office, has been appointed interim sheriff while the selection process plays out. He plans to seek the appointment to fill the role permanently. More details on the application process, including the deadline to apply, can be found up on our website, KEPRTV.com. And on to some good news to close out Keeper Quick. A local nonprofit organization received a $5,000 grant for their Attendance Matters program. United Way of Benton and Franklin counties received that grant from Mentor Washington, and it'll fund their Attendance Matters program, where they pair mentors with kids to encourage them to attend school. Leaders at United Way say the grant is important to continue funding the program.
Mentors are in schools every day, being a caring adult for the kids that they work with, really making school a fun place, a safe place, a place where kids feel recognized and seen, saying good morning, giving them someone to talk to. We really believe in the work that they do. We know that school connections or having a positive school connection is one of the best ways to increase student attendance.
Now, organization leaders say the program is off to a great start. For more information on the Attendance Matters program, you can visit our website, KEPRTV.com. And the American Heart Association is helping Mark Twain Elementary School take their fitness program to the next level. And the nonprofit organization presented a grant check for more than $1,900 to the Pasco school yesterday for their successful participation in the Kids Heart Challenge.
PE equipment is expensive, so when I saw I could apply for a grant, I was excited so that I could expand the opportunities in PE. Now I can use those funds to do these sports that will further improve kids' heart health and spread that message.
Now, the grant, one of fewer than 70 awarded nationwide, will help the school buy new equipment like volleyball standards, nets, and badminton sets, providing students with options not available at the school in years past. And that does it up for us. Thank you for watching this episode of Keeper Quick. For more local news and weather, you can head over to our websites. It's KIMaine, KEPRTV.com, as well as our Facebook pages. But while you're here, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to keep up with our latest mini newscasts Monday through Friday. Have a terrific Thursday, everybody.